afternoon, everyone. I had to sneak this out of prison. It goes like this. August members of the Oslo Freedom Forum, friends, ladies and gentlemen, greetings from cell G4 of the Big Ben prison of Lubombo region in Swaziland. My wife and I, my family and the democracy, peace and loving justice, loving people of the Kingdom of Swaziland are greatly honored to have been invited to share thoughts and ideas on how together we can create free, democratic and just societies. I have organized, thought hard on what to say to this so important gathering. I hope these few words will make sense to you. As you are aware, I'm unable to be with you physically, but reach through my lovely, loyal, dedicated, and resilient wife, and in spirit. I am unable to be with you today because in Swaziland, we live not only in an unfree and closed society, but under an oppressive, authoritarian, totalitarian dictatorship. Sadly, our undemocratic society is entrenched by a purported democratic constitution. The two fundamental and distinguishing factors of our political system are the supremacy of the king and its hostility to basic human rights. On April 12, 1973, our late King Sobhuza II declared, "I have assumed supreme power in the Kingdom of Swaziland, and that all legislative, executive, and judicial power is vested in myself." Sobhuza's son, our current King Mswati III, ascended to the throne on April 25, 1986. In 2005, he created a new constitution that he said was more democratic. We in the human rights community have never ever, do not, and will not view and accept his claim. The crux of the problem in Swaziland is that the power is concentrated in one person's hands. Our administrators, legislator, public service, finances, environment, and natural resources are all subject to the king's whims. I can't join you today because I'm being held by a totalitarian state for having spoken against injustice perpetuated through the judiciary against the powerless, defenseless, and vulnerable people of my country. We, however, are not deterred, and we are not discouraged. As my wife often says, I quote, "You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free," end quote. Sadly, our political system views human rights and civil liberties as beneath the king and aligned to the way of life of the people of Swaziland. In 1973, our late king declared that opposition politics were, I quote, "incompatible with the way of life in our society," end quote. That year, he banned political parties. As Nelson Mandela once said, the will of the people and the basis of the authority of government is a principle universally acknowledged as sacred throughout the civilized world and contributes to the basic foundations of freedom and justice. And in his book, No Easy Walk to Freedom, he states, "To overthrow oppression has been sanctioned by humanity, and it is the highest aspiration of every free man," end quote. This is where we are in Swaziland today. Even though we're confined in prison cells, prison walls, no amount of prosecution will deter us from our commitment to freedom, justice, and fight for our dignity. We are encouraged by the knowledge that we are not alone in the battle of freedom, justice in our lifetime. We recognize from the greater humanity, such as the Oslo Freedom Forum community, that enables us to hold on, never to break, nor surrender until victory is won. As a way forward, we appeal to the international community to bring pressure to be in the form of targeted sanctions against the architects and proponents of this oppressive regime, so that a process of genuine and meaningful constitutional dialogue is started. While the king and his government has declared a process of strangling their perceived enemies, we say that we need to talk to each other, and the time to do so is now. I wish you all a happy and successful deliberations. Yours in struggle, Thulani Rudolph Maseko, prisoner 353, 438, and now 579 of 2014. Big Ben Prison, Lubombo region, Swaziland. I thank you.